Just when I was going through the list of who might show up, you showed up. Hi, Tammy. I'm going by the lack of her smile. She can't hear us. Yeah. So Jessica can hear, but she can't participate. So you know, said I'm with you in spirit. I guess that's what that means. Awesome. Hey, Chris. Looking good, man. Good haircut on you.
Thank you. I did it myself.
They're the best value. All right, everybody. So we are at week 4, and this week is. I have to close my blind because suddenly the sun's just come out. Incredibly bright.
Did I screw up something?
I didn't think I needed to, but I definitely do now. Oh, that's better. I've been needing sunglasses for the shine off my head you'd all need. All right, this is great. So week 4, I'm going to be flipping back. I've got some slides, but I got a lot of live examples I want to show you specifically. And then depending on how much time we've got at the end, we'll either look at some of your websites currently, or Lindsay's going to do it very specifically on Thursday. Because I'm not here on Thursday, I'm at an event. So Lindsay's doing Thursday. So everybody can hear me and see me okay?
Good.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing the screen and go through what we have got. And as I say, I'm going to come back and flip through a lot of different things for you later on. So let's go back here. All right. My friend Gary V for later. So week 4 is what I call Empower. And obviously I tried to find 4 words or 5 words eventually that had the letter E. This was originally a 4E and it became a 5E. But Empower was always a no-brainer, along with Engage, because the whole idea behind a social media strategy is that people read who you are. So it's that know, like, trust journey. They read who you are and they know it, but then because of the engagement, they really start to like you. And if they know who you are and they like what you do, they will trust you enough to do business. And that know, like, trust journey, or what we call the KLT factor, is very important. And this is the culmination of the know, like, trust, is that we're at the point that people are willing to go offline, either through Facebook Messenger or anything like that, email, phone call. Just so you guys know, I can't see the chat box, so by all means drop chat in, but I can't unfortunately read it until I come out of chat, screen share here. So that's what we're at. And doesn't really matter which platform. There's ways of connecting with people through Instagram. Now there's Instagram stories and direct message. Snapchat, exactly the same. There's the story for the day and direct messaging. Twitter, you can DM straight away. Facebook, we now know is Messenger, and there's a business messenger. Google Plus goes straight to your Gmail. LinkedIn has private messenger. Videos are great, and you can actually start talking to people in the video if they're live, or you can really encourage people to leave comments, and so on and so forth as we go across all these different platforms. So what I'm trying to do now is come away from broadcasting and really get into that relationship where we're actually trying to ultimately get the credit card. We're not quite there yet. That's next week. But really at this point, we want to have that meaningful conversation. It's like, what would it look like for me to do business with you? And so then based on that, we're taking people on a journey. Our social media journey, whether it's like here in Canada, it was Thanksgiving this weekend, and there's a lot of posts about Thanksgiving and recipes and turkey dinners and lattice bacon, and there was many different ways to have a conversation, let's just say this weekend, that really brought family into the equation more, and people started to, now I've got lots of examples to show you live, but people really started now to get a 360 view of who you are, because family comes over, people entertain, it really makes a difference. So what we wanted people to feel like that when they're following us on social media, they're part of our journey. We're going somewhere, we're leading them, just like I am on this road, and a bit of snow on the ground, because it's the spring, I guess, when we took this, whatever, but we're going forward, and you know, we want people to follow, and we want to feel comfortable that they're not just being led into a corner to be sold to, which they may, but they feel comfortable following us because we're providing such great value and good entertainment and knowledge that it's worth the effort to follow through. And that's really the goal of this last quarter of the year, is to build that rapport. hopefully people have stuff that they need to buy from you straight away, but sometimes they don't. We have a kitchen company, and we know that the lifetime of a kitchen is 7 to 12 years, or when people move. So just because we found them on Facebook today doesn't mean to say they're ready to buy a kitchen. But that doesn't stop us building that relationship, because we want to keep going so that when they do need you, there's no doubt in mind you're the only person they would call, because they have that much trust in what it is that you do. And that's the goal. So based on that, I've just got a couple of points. This is Jeff Bezos, if you know Jeff. He is the owner of Amazon, also owner of the Washington Post and many other businesses. And this is a short video that he made quite some time ago that I picked, and it talks about risk. He wasn't a high achiever, he wasn't an academic. And for many, many years, Amazon made no money. Literally, it was losing money every year, but he foresaw where this was going, and he just risked everything. And at one point this year, he was the richest man in the world, well, certainly in North America. And it just depends on Amazon stock, whether he's 1, 2, or 3 between Bill Gates and Warren Buffett now. It's unbelievable. And just when you find an affinity with a thought leader like Jeff, and you share that, you get a lot of engagement. You get a lot of people feeling empowered, because it's like, yeah, if he can do that, I can do that. And that's, that's what we try and do with these things. This one here was like, I said this on a Sunday night, excuse the word, but 8 brutally honest truths you need to hear if you really want to get your shit done. Look at the stats. I got 168 likes on a post that wasn't even mine. 76 people shared this post. So suddenly my page is in front of everybody else around an article about getting stuff done. We are the make stuff happen people. Somebody said this morning, maybe you're the make stuffing happen people for Thanksgiving. I thought it was quite funny. But just curating content that suits your audience and is part of the journey that you're on totally makes a difference. And you can see Facebook here has wanted me to boost it because it was getting such great reach organically, which I chose not to, but it worked. And then all of these words are part of this journey. I admire you all for having courage to come on this journey with me, because most of you didn't know me at all. Some of you have already seen amazing success, like Queenie was telling us her engagement is up 10,000%. I know everybody's going to find social media a challenge, even I do. But to motivate you guys to keep on this and make it a habit-forming strategy is what I'm here for. And I think we're going in the right direction. And Chris and Richard are like this guy. He's actually an alarm installer. The business we worked at down in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. Best food I've ever had, I have to say. Not the healthiest, but very good. Tammy will know what Southern food is because she's near Atlanta. But
I know how to cook it too.
Say again?
That I know how to cook it too.
So you tell me. I have yet to experience, but I'm looking forward to that. But here's an alarm company, and I think when we worked with Provision Home, there were 16 alarm companies in the same time. And they're all driving to the bottom of the barrel on price. And when Noel approached me, he said, what can I do that's different? And interestingly enough, if you look at Provision Home, it's very much a religious community that they sell to. And they have scripture verses on their social media posts almost like every single day. And they built their Facebook up to over 4,000, pretty much because of their posts about scripture, which is a very unusual strategy. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it works for these guys. They're also not the cheapest. So what they do, and this is Forrest, was that they really empowered their readers with the Honeywell systems that they sold, or the 2G2, two guys in a garage or whatever system. They picked the very best systems. They weren't limited to just one company. And their whole attitude was, we're here to help you. We're not here to sell you. But if we can help you and there's a fit, please buy from us. And they share pictures every single week of another family and another home that they're protecting. And that's how the strategies work. And they're doing pretty well. And that's what I want for you guys too, is I want your social media to really be helpful, not overly salesy. You can sell. You can sell. But if all we do is buy my product, it ain't going to work. So based on that, what I try and do is get a message across in multiple media. So I might share other people's posts, like you've seen. I might create my own posts like this. This is one of our mantras here at our company, is that social media, don't use it to impress people, use it to impact people. And we create a graphic like this every single business day. And I'll give you a link a little bit later to all that we've done this year, or 231 of them or something like that. Because this is something that is unique to us. It's very shareable. It's brand identity. And it makes a big difference. So what I'd like to sort of think of, just dwell on this at the moment. There are hundreds of people out there that need your stuff. They just don't know which door to knock on. And the idea of social media is we're not waiting for them to knock. We're actually building a brand new door for them to open. And this social context of blogging and live video and posting and sharing is giving people a doorway to our business that's never been opened before. Social media, I mean, before it was email or snail mail, something in the mail, that was the only tool chat, or advertising in a magazine or a Bushmint, but you never knew what business you had got. You knew if somebody replied to an email or answered the phone, you could monitor that. But now with social media, my goodness, we can monitor this so well. And what I try and say to people is, don't just do social media, because most businesses are now. Go the extra mile, which is live posting on a Friday night, replying to people almost straight away when they comment. Because I had it on Friday afternoon with one of my managed clients. They're advertising for an installer in their shop. This lady private messaged the page and said, my husband might be interested. It depends on the salary. Can you give me some salary range? Which I didn't have. I wrote back and said, I'm so sorry. The owner of the company is actually away for the weekend. He's back in on Tuesday. Would it be okay if we called you then? She said, oh my goodness, I actually got a reply. Yeah, that's totally great. I didn't expect anybody to reply. And that, going the extra mile, makes a huge difference in your social media, because it makes you a person. And even if it's multiple people within a company, I always get people to sign their name afterwards. That's what makes the difference. And that mile beyond the extra mile, you know, it's never crowded, because most people won't put the effort in. And, you know, when you've got your phone and you've got your notifications set up, there is a great way of building rapport and getting deals done, you know, without selling anything. People they just feel that you're the right person for them, and they won't go anywhere else. So what I try and do, and this is what I'm going to look at a lot today, is to go bridging this gap from social media to email. And this is something that's being done very badly by most people, most companies, and including myself. You know, a few years ago, we were so like-driven, like building up the likes on our page. You know, likes aren't worth squat if they don't buy from us or they don't talk to us. And if they just like and leave, oh well. And the stat is that 93% of people who like your page don't regularly come back to it by choice. They might see a post of yours if you boost it, but only 7% of people who like your page are actually interested in staying around for the journey. People just like now in a nanosecond because they're so used to pressing the button. So what we've got to do is we've got to start saying to these people, how do I get your email? How can I provide enough value to take this relationship from social into email or a phone call or an actual meeting? Because this is where the business really gets done. This is the gateway. This is the dating, if you like. This is where, you know, you get the second base or third base or whatever the terminology may or may not be. But social's first base. So based on that, I've got a lot of examples. I'm just going to stop sharing because I want to show you a bunch of stuff. Hey, Dirk's here. Awesome. If someone's getting some echo, if you just we could just mute everybody, but I think you muted yourself, so that's okay. Thanks, Queenie. So, Dirk, I actually have your website as one of my examples today. How funny is that?
Ooh, all right.
And this is your new Idlewild kitchen, is it?
No, this is actually, I'm in Palm Springs. I just drove down.
I should do.
Right.
So, Dirk's just moved from Aspen to Palm Springs, and he has a house in the mountains and a house in the city. So we gotta create a whole new audience for him now, because he's moved states and a time zone as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to share my screen again, but this time I'm going to just go through a bunch of websites that really I want to show you what makes a difference. So I'll start with mine. When people arrive on my website, this is what they call above the fold. So remember, if you go to a garage now and you go to get a newspaper, the newspaper's folded in half. And where that line is, or where that magazine is that you see in a rack, everything you see with your eyes is what's called above the fold. You probably know that. And this is, in website terms, this is what people see above the fold on their iPad, on their laptop. Mobile's a little different. So when someone arrives at your website, we have something like 0.3 of a second for people to make their mind up whether they want to stay or not. And then we have 3 seconds to get them to make a decision. So first off, when they arrive, as soon as they arrive, the colors, the picture, the speed of loading, the format, they're going to look at it and went, nope, don't like it. And it's such an automatic reaction now. It's something like 0.3 of a second. It's not even a blink. And they've already decided if they like your site or not. So the color palette, the smile, the balance, the space. You look at Apple's website, I mean, it's all about balance and space. And they have no social media. It's so interesting. They don't need it. But everybody else does because we're not Apple. So in my system, you know, these colors work for me, that the muted tones are not too bright. And straight away, my call to action is massively grow your business using social media. It's like, oh, okay, there's my mission statement. And then here it is. I'm giving something away, the social media quick start guide. And they can see it on their iPad and like, do you want it? It's free. And straight away, I get a name and an email, and they sign up. They get an email. They have to what's called double opt-in now in Canada for the Canadian anti-spam legislation. And then they get this PDF sent to them straight away. If you haven't got this yet, try it out. I hope it works. Put in your first name, your email, and just sign up and see the process, because that's what we want to do with all these people. And based on that, that's how we start to build up an email list. So it could be your social media post was, struggling to make social media work for you? Why don't you download our quick start guide? And then they go straight to this download page, which isn't the homepage, but it's a separate page. And they get the quick start guide. Then I've got that email. They're reading my stuff. Part of the email takes them back then to our website or our social media, because there's all these links embedded. And that's where the relationship starts to build. I'll show you a couple of other examples. This is our friend Maria. Maria is a speaking coach, so she teaches people how to coach. And my computer's telling me that the boot camp's on. I do know that. It's very kind of you, but we're good. So right out of the gate with Maria, above the fold here is know what to say and how to say it. Nice bold colors. They reflect in the clothing that she's wearing. She's got a muted red. And then if you go down a bit, the world's greatest speakers. She actually interviewed 20 of the world's top speakers, including Brian Tracy and Susie Orman and Lisa Sasevich. Interviewed people all over the world about what makes a great speech. And she's recorded each one of these. And this is her book. It's an Amazon bestseller. So you can see the link there, the colors there. And then it's saying, you know, enjoy an anthology, which is like, I think it's 20 tips from the best speakers. So the idea is we'd love them to buy the book. But she wants to get her email and get a relationship. So what?
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan, we can't see your screen.
How is that possible?
We love you.
Well, thank you for telling me.
We were trying to wave and not interrupt, and
Yeah.
it didn't work.
I was absolutely convinced I shared my screen. You see it now?
Yay!
Darn it. Okay, let me just do a quick hop, skip back. My site. Okay, you must have been thinking, wow, he's very visual without showing us anything. So here's what I was saying about my site. The colors, the headline, above the fold, you can see what you're going to get. We created this little drawing, because I always say, go fish where the fish are. So we created all these social media little fishies with icons on them, and little hook is to say, how do you hook your audience? So that's what I give away, and that's my lead generation. With Maria, same thing. Straight out the gate, you know, get my exclusive speaker notes, find out about the world's greatest speakers. There's a book that she's selling, which is a bestseller on Amazon already. Here's her anthology. So again, a lot of her social media is driving people straight to this box to get the email, and she's giving something away in exchange, which has real value. And it's the start of that journey. These are all sites that we've designed. Madeline McRae, she's a sales trainer, and those of you in VIP will get to know Madeline later on because the month of November is pretty much Madeline's, where we talk about high ticket selling and closing deals and getting references and making video that actually leads to leads. So she's awesome. So this is Madeline's site. Again, lots of white space, very open-armed, great colors. And what she tries to do is she tries to get people to come on a 5-day challenge with her. So you can see straight away that this also comes up as a pop-up. So she's joining people and she's made 5 videos that they get for free. And all she wants is a name and email. So we're not asking for phone number. We're not asking for the birthright of the first child. Just first name and email, and we're in. And that's how we start to do it. Look at this guy here. What we're trying to do with Dirk's site is we're trying to sort of do a lot more in video rather than just talk. So he's made videos of every exercise, you know, he knows to do now. And who wouldn't want to deal with a guy like this? I mean, he's super honest. He's actually offering people a schedule. So if you go to his homepage, as you go back to it now, again, the color palette is very non-aggressive, very inviting, lots of different people, you know, in imagery, you know, and so we see that your life, your body, your mind, it's like, bam, that's this the hashtag. And, you know, when through this, he has no event right now because he's literally just moved, but normally there'd be events there of TRX sessions. But again, we're trying to get people's names. We're trying to get their email so they get his new newsletter. They can also schedule a session. So he'll actually go on Skype with them and talk to them about, you know, a session. And again, wherever they click, there's another outside lifestyle picture of like, oh my gosh, that's my life. That's what I want. And they can send a message. So all of these things just lead from social media to the website, from the website to email, from email to a conversation. And that's what we're looking at. We can also get a little deeper. Which I'll show you this one next. So this is Elite Kitchens. Guys have worked with us now for 4 years, and this website's over 100 pages deep. It's quite phenomenal, you know, the detail that's gone into this now, because they are like the leading educator in anything to do with kitchen cabinetry manufacturer in the Vancouver area. That's why they rank #1, because we have posts coming out of our ears, and you know, everything there is exactly what people need to know about with kitchens. But we also then we have video, and then this is something I wanted to show you. So this is the blog, and we talked about blogging a bit last week. And we have this blog here, and it was a recipe that they found for pumpkin spice latte cupcakes. Doesn't that sound yummy? There's a full recipe there, and this went out in a newsletter. So if I show you the newsletter, if I can get all this stuff together, maybe I can. It open, but my email moved. 1 second. Here we go. So this is a newsletter that went out on Saturday morning. So great fall graphic because it's Canadian. It was Thanksgiving. And then lots of big font, fall color. And then we just simply said, we want to share a yummy recipe that we tried out for called pumpkin spice cup. So this now is in the email box. And all we said is click the picture to get the recipe. So now they're on the website at that blog that I just showed you. And when we look at their social media, because we did something interesting with this over the weekend, and Ken doesn't mind me sharing his stuff. So I always check before I do that, obviously. But what we've got here is, I'll show you the post. We had it pinned, but I unpinned it a couple of hours ago. So that's the Thanksgiving post. And let me find the cupcakes. Oh my word, come on. Facebook, really? There we go. So here is the recipe. So this is a social media post now. You saw the blog. So have a look at the results. We spent $20 on this. And
Looks delicious.
it was Thanksgiving. So it went out, I think, Friday afternoon, something like that, when Facebook catches up with me. And so we can see the results. We reached 1,332 people, and 47 people clicked on a link, which got them to the website which got them to get to the recipe. And the whole idea of getting them to the website is that they might stay. And we can look at their age, we can look at everything that they did, but it was in a newsletter, it was on a social media post, it was on the homepage of the website. So all of these things start joining together so that people can then see, oh my goodness. And then when they're on the website, there's any number of buttons all over the website to encourage people to stay and find out more. Sometimes what we do, talking away here, keep drinking, is we run ads, and we don't necessarily run the ads to the website. We'll run ads to what we call a landing page. So we use a program called Lead Pages. So if you click Timber Homes in Washington State, we run ads in Washington State, you will get, when you click on the Google ad or the Facebook ad, it will arrive at this page. And basically, it's very simple. Welcome to Townland Homes. You can see a couple of pictures. And right here it says, get our complete house plan, construction videos, project galleries. So that goes to the blog, but we're giving them here a PDF. And this PDF we spent a lot of time on. This PDF I think is 14 or 15 pages, and it's incredible data. And people could literally build their own log cabin based on this PDF. So even though it's a non-salesy document, it's 100% salesy because we're just telling them how good Townland Homes are. And we've got lots of images, we've got lots of different ideas, And by the time people have read this and downloaded it, and we get 5 or 6 downloads a day on this document, this is where all the business comes from. So social media is the gateway, or Google AdWords is the gateway to a landing page. And for those of you who haven't used Lead Pages yet, it's so simple to create it. You can have a countdown button, you can have images, video. It's very much a drop and drag. It's a bit like WordPress, but it's just for landing pages. And that's how we do it. And it works insanely well. And we're giving great value because of what they get with that. My friend Alfred, he's not on the call today, but Alfred sells safety software in the construction industry, but equally would work in the hospitality industry. And this is what the software looks like. It's iPad driven. And basically what we've done here is, you can track it, measure it, respond to it, all of that. What Alfred's saying is, find out if this software is right for you. And we got a 30-question quiz, so that when they go into this, you have to sign in. So I'm in the back end, but basically when you go into this and sign up, he gets an incredible in-depth look as to what that looks like for this business. So when he then sends them the survey back with their results, he already knows if they're an ideal client. And that's normally when he'll jump on LinkedIn or jump on the phone and make a connection with his people, because he's not going to come straight back at them and say, oh, buy it, it's really good for you. He's going to build up that relationship. And in the last 8 months, he's gone from, I think, 230 people on LinkedIn to over 3,500.
Wow.
And he's dealing with safety officers, and they live on LinkedIn. So he's built up anybody to do with safety now, and he's got an amazing audience because of this strategy. And he's giving this survey away for free, and it's a wonderful thing. Sometimes what I do with my page is I get people to have a call with me. If I think there's a fit, I'll let them have a call, and I have this software now that people can look at my calendar and they can actually schedule a call, and then either a 30-minute or a 45-minute call. But before I get to that point, I send them this form. And some of you have already filled in this form, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Is I need to get a handle on whether we're an ideal agency for you. I need to know where you are. I need to know what you're doing. I need to know where your point of pain is. And if I think I can help and I get this form, straight away you get an invite to meet with me through Zoom, and we record it and we give people a copy of the recording. And again, this is my social strategy to get people's information on a form and then to get them on Zoom in front of me. And I can tell you, this is a dangerous place, because once people are in my Zoom room and they've given me all of the information, I probably have an 8 in 10 chance of closing that deal. That's my ratio right now, about 8 in 10. And the other 2 are not a no, they're just a not yet. So this is what we want to empower our audience to do. And moving forward, this is how this works. Does that make sense? Because what we now have to do is we have, oh, hey, Susan. We have to now go and reverse engineer your website and find what it is that you can give away so that you're going to start getting those emails and those connections, whether it's through a blog, through a video like Dirt's, through a creative graphic that I was showing that I do every day. Whatever that might look like, what can we give away to get the email, to get that relationship deeper, to be able to work with them? Is that exciting? When I get that form and I read it, I went, oh, I can so help this person. And I get so excited before I've even met them because I know what they need and how to help them. Even before I've spoken to them, I could probably just do it. Hey, Tyler's here too. But that's what we want to do. Oh yeah, we can't see the screen. We can't see the screen. Yep, thanks for speaking out, Tammy. Because I didn't know I was not on screen. Anyway, I'm going to go back and share screen. Tell me that you can see the screen. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Okay, so back to a PowerPoint now. So that's what the whole emphasis of these slides are going forward now is how do we take them from social to inbox? Because this is still where business gets done. So you'll see here, this is a genuine campaign of one of our clients. I won't say who, but look at, we have different lists. So sometimes the opening rate, you know, is for the general list, and then we subdivided the list into niches, and that's why you can see such high 60 to almost 70% open rates, because we've niched it down. So we're sending emails to what people specifically are looking for. And based on that, we can have emails go all over the place. This is when I sent one at this time last year. We just reached 15,000 people on our likes. I was selling In a Circle at the time, and I did an offer. So many people bought it. I did 6 months for $150. It was like half price. And that was my social media post, and that was what I started to do to get people in my inner circle. So eventually they might want to trade up to bootcamp, where you guys are, that might want to train up to core content. And that's my process, but I'm still just paying it forward and adding value. So many of the emails that we do, and this is like several clients, we take them into email land for the very first time. Businesses that have been in business for seriously decades have never sent out a proper email. So this is Jacqueline over in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Hello and welcome to our very first email. She had like an 87% open rate on the first email. It was insane because she never sent one out. And then we started to, we now tell people about this app and how you can use your iPhone or your iPad to monitor your alarm and turn off the heating or the air conditioning and watch for floods. Amazing. On the opposite side is my friend Scott over at Beltone, and he's selling hearing aids. Not so sexy, you know, as home improvement, but at the same time, high ticket, often $3,000 for a set of hearing aids. He wants to reach the right people and come over as the educator. So here, you know, we did an email campaign. We, rather than saying it's $500 off, we offered a trade-in of $500 against a new pair. And it didn't even have to be theirs. It could be that Uncle Fred's who died 2 years ago and it was in a drawer. Didn't really matter. We still gave $500 and it drove sales. So then, like, this is Jacqueline's very first email. She let me share this. So the opening rate was 63.4%. Now we found out that 24 of the emails in her database were incorrect, which is why it says bounced. She got one unsubscribe, and it was from a client of hers who was a doctor who just is an email overload. She went, oh yeah, I knew she'd unsubscribed. She doesn't want more emails. But she knew her clients that well. These emails led to business instantly. I worked with a realtor quite recently. She hadn't sent out an email out ever. We compiled the database, we sent it out. The first email out, we did a contest for a spa. It was a spa day for you and your car. While your car was getting detailed, you were getting the whole spa treatment. It was like a fun contest for two things. And that's how we launched it. Anyway, she got 2 deals out of that first email. People said, oh my goodness, I totally forgot. You are the realtor that we really enjoyed. We're thinking about selling. Would you help us? So she listed 2 deals from the first email that went out, because suddenly you're top of mind and you're in the face, and with the right leverage, it can work. Look at Jacqueline's list average. So in the security industry, they say the open rate is 6.8% that people open an email and then click an attachment. She got 18%. The list average for her industry is actually quite high. It's 49%, but she beat that at 63%. So a lot of this is because they knew her on social media, they knew her in the city. Now she's reaching people on their phones or at the desktop. With email, you can also, I might be teaching some of you to suck eggs, but you can see what time of the day is the best time to send the email. My guess with Jacqueline was to send it out at 8 o'clock at night, and I was absolutely right. We then found out that 9 o'clock in the morning is the second best time for her audience to open email. So now we know that a weekend evening or a workday 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock is the best times for her campaigns to go out. And we get all of this data from the back end of MailChimp. What we can then do is, this is elite. We send one out every quarter, and we talk about colors and the themes and the tones and what's new and evolving. People love to read this because rather than just spending all the day on home and garden TV or Pinterest, Verona is giving them the very best bits of what it is that they need. Plus, we're always showcasing one of their kitchens, and they're starting to get to know Ken and the owner's wife, Verona, here, and it's building rapport beyond social media. So that bridging the connection that I keep talking about is happening as we see in this instance. So what I try and do, and this is Alfred's one. Some of these slides might duplicate now because I've already gone live with them. So this is how Alfred does it. So people take the assessment. This is a questionnaire that I got from somebody, and he ended up being a very good client and still is. Here was my questions. Do you have an active blog writing strategy? No, I don't. Are you using social media confidently? Well, no, not really. Are your social media efforts paying off? No. Okay, so at this point, I think I've got him, but now I need to know, is he worth working with? Are people constantly referring to you because they know of your great services? Yes, this does happen. Do people call or email you because they've made up their mind that you have what they need? People do. So this guy's doing good stuff and people are buying it off him already. He just doesn't have a social strategy. Are people liking your posts so much that they're sharing them? Nope. Are you using online marketing to get real meetings? No, I'm not. So before I've even met this man, because of the questions that I've asked, I already know I can help him, and I already know he's worth helping. It's not that you have to sort of second guess anybody in this world, but we only have so many hours in a day. We can only offer so many strategy sessions. So let's make sure we're talking to the right kind of people who are ready to buy and do that. So the email capture, I showed you what we do with Madeline, how that pop-up comes up, and that's worked really well for her. With Tamlin, when they click on the ad and they want to download this package that I showed you, this is the second step that I jumped over. So again, we're trying to get a little bit more detail, and then what we action is, where are you hoping to build? So I'm hoping to build in Aspen or Montana or Lake Tahoe or Whistler, wherever it is that they want to build a cabin. So suddenly we know how much money they've got as to which resort they're wanting to build the house in. So these questions are very detailed, and there's a lot of science goes into the email strategies that we build to get you the right kind of clients right out of the gate. It's a lot of fun. So this is Denise's. Denise is a fertility acupuncture, Korean ancient Chinese medicine down in Los Angeles. And what we're trying to do here is help people get pregnant. But before we do that, we're trying to help them take the first step to getting more healthy. And this is both for males and females. So they fill in this little form. Denise asks for a bit more detail than average, but they get a free 15-minute consult with her over Skype. And this has worked phenomenally well for her building up her list. So whatever pop-ups that you see, this is one of mine, you've got to have this working for you either on Google AdWords, Facebook ads, your website, Instagram, wherever you're sending people, we've got to get a way of turning those likes into emails. It's absolutely essential. And then when we do that, I showed you how I do sessions, how I do my call. Sometimes our work is still in print. Quite remarkable, I know, but we have a client, they have 750 apartments that we help manage the marketing for. And this newsletter goes under the door of every single tenant. We try and get them on Facebook, we try and get them on email, but the tenants move so fast, it's hard to do that. But this way, all the tips that they still want, actually going underneath the door in print, because we know they're gonna open it, because it's under the door, put under the door by the manager. And in this is links to their social media and their website and their blogs, because that's all these articles in the magazine are blogs that we've written for them. So I have a video challenge for you guys, and it's a different one. Now I know we asked, am I going too fast? Is this all good? Because I have an hour to sort of impart, and then we have another hour on Thursday to But I know I don't do a ton of interaction on this call because I want to give you as much as I can. 2 weeks ago, we did a call which was to make a video, and I think 5 of you ended up making that video. And I just got a message this morning from my mailbox that they have arrived. I'm hopefully going to be picking them up later, but this was my selfie stick thing. Queenie, I don't know how I'm going to get it to you because you're never in the same place for more than a week, but I think we won anyway. But this is what we're going to be giving away for people who do different contests with us right now because it's such a useful tool. Last week, Lindsay asked if anybody had a blog, then she would analyze it and give feedback, even if you're not in Core Content Course. So she's going to do that on Thursday. And I know we got a blog from Queenie. I don't know if we've had any others yet. But either which way, you've got till Thursday, and then Lindsay will actually analyze that blog with you live on Thursday. But what I wanted to do today was I wanted to encourage you to make another video. And that video is this, and funny enough, Queenie's already done it. I want you to make a video about who you are and why you do what you do. And it doesn't have to be high tech. It doesn't have to be, it has to be steady and it has to have good lighting and sound, obviously. But I would just love to know why you do what you do. And use that as either a Facebook Live or a blog, because this is how we're going to get this authentic engagement. Is to just put yourself out there in an actual video and tell that story. So let me go back to my screen share. And I've done this many, many times. And you don't need a lot of kit. I use an external microphone. I've got my little GorillaPod. I got my clicker. That's how I do video. This is a dentist client of ours that we did all the client testimonials on my phone. And they're really good. Didn't have to be high tech. Didn't have to be high cost. But all of these videos, and in fact, Debbie's a client of theirs, they fixed a TMJ after 28 years without surgery. So we were able to make a testimony about that. So that's my challenge for you guys for this week. And if you've already won one of these, I have to think of something else. But if you haven't, that's my gift for next time. Is I'd love a short video just about, I've been remember like the Ice Bucket Challenge, people say, I've been challenged by, so you might say, I'm on a workshop, I'm learning social media, and I've been challenged to tell people why I do what I do in less than in 2 minutes. So that's my challenge for you for this coming week. And then based on that, this was a video that I did. I did it on September 11th, I think last year. And it's funny because my dad had passed away, but his birthday was September 11th, so go figure. And I literally made this video. I tried to keep it to 2 minutes. I was 2:01, sitting in my yard on a rock. Debbie held my phone. And I literally said to people why I got into business. And I tied it in with the 11th anniversary of our business, my dad's birthday. And I just said to people, this is why I started this business. This is what I do. This is what gives me joy. And I spent $20 on it, but you can see how many people I reached. And it got me a lot of engagement. And a lot of people like, I had no idea. And a lot of people watched it without clicking because it auto-played on Facebook. But people still talk to me about my story, even though I'd never met them, but they've watched it somewhere along the way. What I then try and do with these videos that I talk about is I put these videos now into my newsletters. So this is one from a while back. Originally, my Facebook page was called We Make Stuff Happen, and I changed it back to my name. And I made this blog about why did I change my website back from the company name to my name? Because I felt that people didn't want to deal with the brand, they wanted to deal with the person. So I made this little video at my desk that I embedded into my email. And I just said, this is, and I did a little short history of and this was my very first business card that I did on Vistaprint that I thought was, oh, so cool and trendy back in 2004. But that was my first business card. And I just told my story. And the more times you tell your story, the more people are interested. So it could be embedded in an email, on your Facebook, on your YouTube channel, in a blog. Many ways to use that one piece of content that can totally make a difference, because this story just makes all the difference. I tell you about Tamlin, and they do 4 different types. They do custom home builds here on the West Coast. They'll sell a package that you can actually buy and build yourself. They make log cabins, which are quite unique. And they actually have Japanese log builders. And these guys actually don't use a pencil. They use like a brush and ink, It's such an art form the way they do it. They also build homes for remote islands. So people where there's no electricity and people want a cabin, or there is electricity, but it's like 2 or 3 hours of a ferry. They specialize in building these cabins that are ideal for a marine environment that won't rot. So that's the 4 things that they do. And we're like, how do we tell that story? So we ended up creating this landing page with icons. So it's like when you get there, you can see, please select one of our services. We win awards for this stuff. So do you want us to build your house? Do you want to build it yourself? Do you want a log cabin? Do you live in the middle of nowhere? Whatever that looks like, this landing page took them to different pages. And these were the icons in the social strategy that got people to the box. So they're a square peg in a square box because this is where we want to send them. And it worked really, really well. Then they get to the website, they can say, oh my gosh, look at that house, look at this house. That house on the far left is a remote island home. It was owned by a lawyer. It was on an island called Galliano. It's just beautiful. I won awards, the Georgie Award for this house. And it's pretty much a bedroom, bathroom, and this huge living area and a small utility room with a kitchen. But basically, he just goes there for the weekend and he wants to look at the ocean. And that's what they do. And lots of different ways of doing it. But this is, when they get to the remote cabins or whatever, this is the kind of messaging, again, above the fold, great big box, how it works. So we take people through it. This is an older video, but I want to just explain. I just love the way Gary explains it. So let's just jump into this one.
So for the last 6 months, I've been baffled looking at startups, looking at the client work that we do here at VaynerMedia from other agencies and the brands have done competitive work when we're auditing things, looking at new startups. How many people still don't design their websites or their experiences for the mobile web, or not even thinking about building mobile apps? This whole notion of mobile first is not something I've owned. It's not something that I coined. This has been around for a while. But yesterday in the Consumer Habits on Mobile Studies, a fun little stat came out that made me really decide it was time to make just one video. So once and for all, in 2013, we all realized that mobile, this thing, is the thing that you need to be thinking about in your business, whether you sell tires, soda water, and whatever you do. If you're a lawyer, you need to be thinking mobile first, second, and 69. Hence the stat, 9% of people admitted to in this study to using their mobile device during sex. Having such boring sex that they're checking score, and then but 9% of people admitted to using a mobile device during sex. 19% of people admitted to using a mobile device in church. And 55% admitted to using a phone while driving. So let's remember, admitted, which means 9% during sex is 18%, 15% in church is probably 30, 40, 50%, and 55% of driving is probably 99.7%. If you are not storytelling on the mobile device first, and more importantly, as a marketer and business person, if you're not thinking about how to tell your story on a mobile device first, you are going to lose.
Don't you love that? Just love it.
This is classic offense
We've had that one,
versus
Gary.
defense. What I'm really good at is marketing
Shush.
in the year that we actually live in.
There we go. Let me go back. So hopefully that doesn't play again. So yeah, you can see the screen, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So my job now, and normally when I work with a client, is that we start to brainstorm what that giveaway is. How we entice people to get their email. What can we do to take that jump from social media to an email to business? And we do this a lot. And what we want to do this coming week is we want to sort of hot seat you guys as to how I can help you come up with these ideas. Some of you I've worked with already, like Durek and I have worked together on this already. Alfred and I have worked on this already. But a lot of you I haven't worked with you yet. So I want to come up and help you come up with this unbelievable deal that people just have to have, and they're willing to give their email in exchange for it. So here's the thing. Just because it's a great idea today and it works, it may not work in a few months' time. So don't just think, oh my goodness, I've done it, we're done. I've changed my offer probably 5 times in the last 5 years, and I've just changed it again to this new guide literally in the last month, because everything changes. But what we do know is whether these get bigger, less buttons, more screen, whatever else it does, this is where things are happening. And and that was 2013. So he was so above, the curve, if you like, ahead of the curve. But he's just saying, if people can't find you on mobile, easily fill in a form which gives their email and gets what they want, come straight to your social media, all these little buttons that just work seamlessly. I was working with somebody on Sunday. She came around to visit, and I just went, I had to look at your website today. I was trying to fill in a form, and I kept spelling it up, and the button was too small, and I had to press the button, and then I filled it all in, and then it didn't work, and I had to go back and do it again. I said, how many people download your free book? She said, hardly any. I said, I know why. You suck on mobile. You just suck. Your mobile site is awful. Really? I said, honestly. And then she showed me her husband's website, and his was even worse. He needed a freaking microscope to read the text, and I had to keep doing this to even, by the time I'd done that, it was all off skew. And she went, oh, that's what you do. I said, it's a piece of what we do. But if you're not delivering, it's so easy on mobile, on iPad or desktop, you're toast. And that's what Gary's saying. And unfortunately, I just want to give it a precursor that this is a moving target. This is always going to be changing, because you and I now know that Jessica and I had this conversation with Greg on Friday. We have to market in the year in which we live. And funny enough, it's 2017, not 2008. And these websites I was looking at on Sunday were both made in 2008. So that's what we want to do, my friends. I'm going to stop screen sharing when I get back to it. Was I screen sharing then or not?
No.
No, you tell me. Doesn't matter. He's so intense, I can't even share his videos. No, you can't. He swears a lot. I know. But his message is bang on because he's so passionate about business. I apologize for not sharing my screen, but you know what? I'm so visual, whether I know if you're looking at me or not, I still do the same things. Even when I do webinars and nobody shows up, I'm still like this. Because I'm still imagining that somebody at the other end of the camera will watch this, even if it's not live. So I always assume there's people there. So that's the deal. That's empowering. So my question to you is, do you feel empowered?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm in the right room. Is your website working for you? Because the whole idea of a website is to get in touch with somebody, is to educate them so well that they can't but not want to talk to you. Whether it's your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter feed, your blog, the comment, replying to a YouTube video. We've got to make something that they want to have a conversation with. Otherwise, we're just, I was going to say peeing in the wind, but I just did. Anyway, you have to do something that makes a difference. Otherwise, why are we here? We're not Greenpeace. We're not just telling people like global warming is bad, people. We're in business. Not that there's anything wrong with Greenpeace, don't get me wrong. But we've got to have, and they collect money too, but we've got to have a mission. So the whole idea of the homepage of your website is to get them to go to page 2. The whole idea of page 2 is to get them to page 4, 5, 6, 7. We want them to have such an enriched experience on their website that they've spent 3 minutes before they fill in the form. And they know so much about what it is that you do, that by the time they call you, you've got them on hello. Because you've already told them what you do. They've already made up their mind up. They want to do business with you. And that is so freaking exciting. It's empowering. This is like my favorite module, because this is where business gets done. And then they just say, how can I just did some, this is my credit card folder, and I have so many people's credit card details in this. And I said, oh, just keep it, I have it locked in the safe normally, but just keep it on file, and then, we're going to do work together, and then all of these Post-it notes, not 100% secure, I guess, but these are all credit cards that people have given me, and I shred them if we stop working together, to keep on file. I don't know how many's here, probably 50 or so. This is a very valuable file that I keep under lock and key. But that's how many people have said to me, like Queenie, we did a strategy call, and by the end of it, she said, I want to buy the boot camp, can I give you my card? Yes, you can, my darling. I'll take it right now. It's the best feeling in the world. It's an even better feeling when you wake up in the morning and it's like PayPal says you have money. So if you can even get this to work in your sleep, even better. But for now, I'll settle, face to face. So that's what the strategy should be. And if you're not quite there yet, then awesome. Otherwise, one of your slides read, go with the, it does? Oh, I've never noticed that. Thanks, Joanne. I have a typo in a slide. And I bought that image as well. I didn't even create it. Dang. Oh, I don't think I created it. One thing I wanted to show you, share screen. Okay, make sure I do this. Okay, you can see my screen. On my personal Facebook page, under photos, this is my business page. I've created an album and it's called Jonathan's Awesome Inspirational Quotes. And literally every day now when we post a quote, it goes into this folder. So if you're looking for inspiration, just go to We Make Stuff Happen, the Facebook page, and you'll see, I think 231, all of these have been created this year. And we're starting to recycle these now, but all of these have been my social media strategy. And we created them all. In fact, there was one. Oh my gosh. The R and the T are inverted. We did make that one. Okay, that's fixable. Thanks for letting me, I never noticed that. But all of this stuff I've created. And out of this, this is my brand. This is me coming out on social media. Not all pictures of me, a couple of Steve Jobs and a number of other people, but you can see how the message is coming across again and again and again, because I'm just empowering people every day to feel better about themselves. That's my mission with my social media, is to empower people how to do that. Dirk's doing the same. That's what we want to do. So by creating an album and sending people to it, suddenly you're giving people a wonderful free resource to go inspire themselves. Even if your post was, and you're in a local market and it's pouring with rain and freezing cold, and you went, you're having a crappy Thursday afternoon, here's a little piece of sunshine, go look at my awesome inspirational quote folder. And they might just do that, And I was like, this person's so positive, so upbeat. I like them. I'm going to call them up. And I can tell you, a lot of people have come and worked with me because of my attitude. Some people don't even know what I do. They just like me. And people have literally said, I've even had a message like, dude, I don't know what you do, but you make my day. Isn't that empowering? I mean, Dirk's on this fitness track and it makes me very embarrassed, but I'm down 9 pounds, buddy, since we started working out together in Palm Springs. And we're going to be working out together. When I said to Debbie this morning, I said, oh, Dirk's coming to Vegas. She said, oh, so you're going to be working out with them then? I went, yeah.
Nice.
So you're empowering people for health. Susan empowering people around the time-life balance. Joanne, you're empowering people to sort of go and shop in Mission. I mean, we all have that, Jamie, you could be talking about how vitamin infusions can really help people and improve their health. Richard doesn't want people to die of carbon dioxide poisoning, so he's been on that tack just recently. Tyler wants all the architects to know that they can get the very best windows in the world. Jessica and her team, I mean, I'm going through all of you here, are saying that they are the best realtors because they know all the land in British Columbia that would be the ideal situation for a blueberry farm or an alpaca farm or whatever that might look like. Who haven't I done? Queenie, I mean, you're just rocking it with these videos. I'm loving them, but you are Asia's leading parenting coach. And you had a message the other day from a lady in Australia saying she couldn't attend your live, but she loved your stuff and she wanted to get in touch. And you're in Eastern Europe right now. That's how it should be. That's how it works. And it's 3 o'clock. This turns me on more than anything else I do in business, is helping people find a strategy that wins, that gets emails, that gets sales. Next week, I'm going to show you how exciting it is when they give you the credit card, and we'll do a bit of a recap next week. But how's this? Is that inspired you?
Awesome.
Awesome. So I say Lindsay is doing this on Thursday. She is specifically going to look at your blogs, your call to action, how you might lose lead pages, because Lindsay creates all of these for clients. All the websites that I showed you, pretty much, she's had a hand in building. So we know what we're doing. This is not our first rodeo. We've probably done over 100 websites. Anyway, I don't exactly know the number, but we know how to do this stuff. We're not necessarily selling you a website. We want to help you maximize yours. Like Susan's got a beautiful website. I don't know if it converts yet. Apparently not. Richard has an opportunity around his website. I'll leave it at that. Tyler's doing great stuff because we're working with those guys already. Jessica, we don't need to say anything about your website. Tammy at Dirt1X, that's a whole conversation you and Ellie and I have to have at some point, maybe. Queenie's working with her web people next week, to put a lot of the structure in place that we started talking about. Tammy's and Jamie up there. There is a Tammy in Jamie's office too. It's funny that. Their website's about 2 weeks away from going live. It's an amazing thing. So that's what I want to encourage you all to write blogs, create posts, and just remember we're going from first base, second, third, fourth. You might get a home run out of one social media post and they hire you there and then. It happens. Believe me. I'm done. I know what else I could just say this ad infinitum, but I think you get it, right?
Awesome, Jonathan.
Deep breath. I actually have to jump straight onto another call as well with somebody. So I'm going to bless you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Recording will be up in about an hour or so. And then if you have any other ideas, drop them in the Facebook page, as you know. And Lindsay will look after you immensely on Thursday. And if you're not in call content and signed up already, what's with that? I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
All right, Jonathan. See ya. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.